And so they're designed to go really quick transactions.
So it's like the old idea of the gold standard. $1 is worth 1 bar of gold. And later on, as it inflated, $1 became worth 1 ounce of gold. And it had a standard of something else that it was related to.
Yes.
In this way, you could attach it to the U.S. dollar, and its value and the U.S. dollar's value would be of an equal standing inflation-wise or spending-wise.
Right.
That's actually not a bad idea. I mean, that makes sense.
And I'm a fan of that, though, because the Stellar blockchain is already off and running. It's backed by IBM. I don't expect to see it shoot up in value or price too much because the actual Stellar Lumen is, I mean, what do you use it for, really?
You have to be a little careful with IBM. They've had some real misnomers in their movement through history. I mean, they are the founding pioneer of American computers in a lot of ways. And they did have that huge falling out in the 90s and then had to restart themselves. But at least you can count on them. They have some serious longevity behind them.
Right. And that's kind of what I'm looking at there. They're also the provider of a lot of technology and ATMs across the world. So I think that the linkage there might give it a lot more promise. But another one I really like a lot is Arc. Arc.io. My good buddy Matt DC, he's over on there. I used to work with him, actually. This is a guy, he's doing so well in crypto. I mean, I definitely have some saltiness with him. I asked this son of a bitch back in 2012, hey, man, so this is Bitcoin stuff. Like, I want to buy some. Like, how do I get into that? Oh, you don't want to get into mining. Like, he went directly to mining. Oh, you don't want to do that. It's drug dealers, blah, blah, blah. It's really complicated.
There's another way to do it other than mining?
Exactly. And I didn't know it at that point in time. Oh, dude,
treat me like a complete moron. Please explain this.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there's even people in our audience. I really want to know because the only thing I've known about it, other than buying this stuff, is that I have to frickin' mine it.
No, fuck mining. Jesus, that's so much. It's so expensive to start. So complicated. Like, don't even fuck with mining. Go to Coinbase. Create an account. You can go to Gemini. I don't know what the fuck they're called. The Winklevoss twins started the Gemini something or other.
I like the sound of Winklevoss twins. Are they hot?
They're dudes. They're that's some H dot, some hot dude on dude action.
That's pretty nasty. That sounds like a millennial problem. Hey guys, can you come over and fuck my wife?
Right.
I'll suck the juices off. No.
Oh god. Anyway, so there's Bitstamp. I mean, there are a shitload of different options there as far as the different. What do you even call those things? Exchanges go. So Bittrex is my favorite, but the ones that you actually need to get money into crypto, you can even use Changelly. I've got a link for that, actually. But Changelly is really awesome because you can buy from a credit card. You can buy from a debit card. You don't need to set up a bank transfer. But if you want to set up a bank transfer, Coinbase, Bitstamp, and Gemini, those are all great options. And you can trade into 3 to 5 different options there as far as Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Dash. Okay, oh, no, they don't take Dash.
Litecoin is having a huge falling out.
Well, Charlie Lee sold all of his shit last year. Like,
well, it's more than just that. And
he was the founder.
I bet a lot of people don't realize this. Have you heard of Backpage?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, Backpage was that super, like, if you wanted a hooker anywhere in the world, that was the place to go.
Okay.
They got kind of caught up in the Backpage deal because they were accepting Litecoin and Bitcoin as currency to pay for your subscriptions.
Oh, that's stupid. That shit's not anonymous. People think it is. It's not.
When the government actually shut down Backpage and they weren't accepting or trading Bitcoin anymore, both Litecoin and Bitcoin had a huge drop.
That's interesting. It explains a lot there as well as far as the prices.
Did you hear that?
The pop of a new can.
Oh, it was. It's like getting a blowjob right there. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is the Get Up Off That Brown.
I like
Brown from Golden Road. And because I didn't like the other one so much, and you're going on your rant, let's have a little taste of this while you're talking.
All right. So, anywho, so to get into crypto, just buy it. Buy it with cash. So you can do Changelly, or you can do Coinbase, Gemini, Bitstamp. Find an exchange you like that wants to give you free money.
Okay, so basically, if you want to mine it at almost cost, you can gain it by mining it. But you could just go in and buy it and hope the price goes up based on
speculation.
Yay! Speculation.
That's pretty much the entirety of the market at this point.
That's like valuing a different woman based on what country she's from because the pussy's that golden.
Well, if she's a hooker and you're human trafficking, you think that people are going to pay that much more money for her.
I'm not human trafficking. I'm just simply giving a poor girl from a third world country a better life with Bitcoin.
I wasn't implying what you were doing. I was simply saying there is no real value except what people attach
It's only
to.
worth what somebody will pay for it, which
Fact.
could be anything.
And that's just how the market works.
I'm willing to pay because I like those foreign girls. They shut up, and if you have a lot of Bitcoin, they can't steal it, like in a divorce.
Yes, fact. Transfer shit some Zcash.
Oh, yeah.
So Zcash is very anonymous. Nothing is purely anonymous. So Dash has an anonymous option, and then Zcash. Those are.
What does Z stand for? Is there like an acronym there?
I have no fucking clue. It first came off of a fork of Bitcoin, and they've made it more anonymous since then. They do a lot of encryption and stuff to make it anonymous. There's also Monero as well, and that's the only one I can think of at the top.
Well, while you're thinking of it, as somebody who's not really buying into crypto yet, because I don't see it being as stable as it should be, what is the cryptocurrency you personally feel, or name 3 top ones that you think are really the ones that should be looked after, that might actually be sprouting? Because, I mean, Bitcoin has the name, okay? It definitely has the name, but it has literally dropped in value like crazily, and it's the number one being targeted by various governments to be controlled by the U.S. government, by the EU, and other countries.
So you realistically could control it. I know the objective is not to control it, but Ethereum and
better smell.
That does smell a lot better. That has a lot. I don't know what that smell is. That doesn't have that shitty beer smell though.
It's got a
good smell.
Yeah, it's got a soft caramelly creaminess.
Yes.
Hints, just tiny hints of vanilla and chocolate. It's malty. I'm sorry to get away from Bitcoin, but I love beer.
Yeah, beer's delicious. Let me get another smell of this.
Yeah, get your nose right in there. It is really nice.
Yeah, I got all the flavors you were pointing out
Now,
there.
Remember the last one that we poured? The head disappeared like instantly.
There was a lot of fucking head in that thing, though.
Right. This one I poured literally 3 or 4 minutes ago, and the head is still strong. It looks like meringue. It is very.
That's a good descriptor there, meringue. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's spongy. It's beautiful. It's angel food cake or meringue are two descriptors you could use.
What do you do in a beer to keep the head on it that much longer?
Well, for one, you don't filter the shit out of it. And 2, using certain types of grains or melanoiding the malt properly leaves the right amount of proteins that will form a head. Now, head becomes beer anyway. All it is think of it like soap. It has something connected that produces bubbles, and you put enough, pouring or oxygenation in there. It kind of creates a lot of bubbles. With the beer, it's the kind of same thing, but instead of soap, it's the proteins. But this head, it's starting to come down. It's lacing beautifully, and there we go. You get a little bit more of the brown, caramelly, malty smells.
Oh yeah, it's a nice deep. It's almost it's not woody, but it's almost woody. It's just so deep.
Oaky. It's got
okay.
a thick. It's almost got you're right, a tannin wood-like smell and flavor coming off this smell. Now, if I get Zcoin, can I buy a lot of beer with Zcoin?
Zcash. I mean,
or Zcash.
I mean, if you start brewing beer, so that's the reason that crypto's it doesn't have the real value yet. Very few people accept it. I know there's some areas in New Hampshire. I'm a big fan of New Hampshire because of the Free State Project. But in New Hampshire, there are a lot of companies that will accept it. But unless you can find someone to take it, it's kind of useless for you.
That's kind of the problem I have. Like, as a business, I mean, you brought it up that we should accept some crypto. But I'm like, really, how do we spend it or who accepts it? Now, you told me about ATMs and ways to convert that crypto. I mean, this is, for me, knowing the crypto is kind of important. You got a lot of info, but let's just say I'm just a dumbass and like I got a bunch of crypto. How can I really use it? How do I turn it into cash that people will take, or who actually accepts crypto as currency to buy things?
So my perspective here, the thing to do there is you have to build the community. So I'm going to start a fucking Ethereum hangout or meetup.com.
Oh, that is way tastier.
I'm going to start actual crypto meetup, so to build that community of people that want to buy it.
That's a great idea.
And essentially become an ATM.
You know what? Maybe along that line, we can also lobby a bunch of businesses. I mean, I'll be the first one to step in and trust you and say, hey, as a business, we'll accept crypto as long as other people are going to start using it, purchasing, but I have a way to spend that crypto somewhere else. So if we had a league or a association of businesses that could come together and all accept it together, they can use crypto to buy things from me, and I can use things to buy from that. Like, I can go to the restaurant, and let's say I'm a brewery, and they're a restaurant, there's a grocery store. I should be able to use this crypto at the grocery store, but that grocery store could turn around and buy my beer from me, or we could both go to the restaurant and buy food from the restaurant guy. It should kind of like bartering became trade, and then I'll give you 2 chickens for a pig, or I'll give you 20 chickens and a pig for a cow.
Well, and that's a really great thing about crypto. You can break. So Ethereum, when it was at $1,400 each, you could still buy $20 of Ethereum. It breaks down to like 7 to 10 decimal places.
That's crypto to crypto. I mean, I have to turn it to something real.
So go to Coinbase, Bitstamp, or anything like that. So the problem you have in Hawaii, though, Hawaii and Wyoming are the 2 states, and actually Wyoming's taken steps to make crypto a legal currency. But Hawaii and Wyoming currently, you're considered a money changer if you exchange crypto for cash. And therefore, so when it was really going up really high, it was a problem. It's not so much a problem, but it's still a problem now. But if I sell you $100 of Ethereum today, and it's worth $200 tomorrow, I have to have $100 in cash on me today, and then $200 on cash tomorrow in case you want to switch it back. And it's fucking, you can't do that. I can't just magically make another $100 come out of the air because
that's what
my
I'm
assets
saying
worth more.
About it's not stable. Like I brought up.
No,
Bubba.
you're right. No, I don't deny you at all there.
Yeah, that's one reason I really think that that's one reason I want to create my own Bitcoin.
So what you do
blockchain,
there, incorporate outside the state, and then have a bank account outside the state.
In all honesty, the state would actually be interested if it made sense. I think the reason Hawaii, and we should probably actually talk to somebody in legislature, see what they have to say about it. Maybe we could bring them on here. Be a great guest.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down.
And see what Hawaii's problem is. Maybe we can educate the community of people listening to us and maybe those around us why crypto is well. I mean, for one, Hawaii's always 30 years behind everybody.
Fact.
But they're actually taking steps, including if you're a business that's interested in creating crypto or manufacturing or doing something technical. Hawaii's got something like $337 million set aside to give businesses free money to do that. Like, let's say you're a manufacturing company doing something in electronics and you bought $1 million worth of equipment. They will give you half of that back.
Wow. That's incredible.
Right. And so, let's say we're going to, for instance, the Sultan Group. They're a group of people. If you wanted to make your own blockchain, they'd probably fund it. And whatever computers or technology you had to buy to create that new blockchain that made sense, they will pay you 50% of your costs to get that rolling because it's tech and it's going to solve a tech problem. So Hawaii is trying to catch up. It's just a matter of Hawaii's also got a bunch of idiots. And I really got to say it. Our education system
is fucking trash.
10 years ago, and I don't know what the current numbers are today, but 10 years ago, something like 80% of all kids going to school in Hawaii dropped out by 8th grade.
Sounds about right.
What's even worse is an 8th grade education in Hawaii is like a 5th grade education on the mainland.
Yeah.
And they've taken steps to improve that, but
they're still teaching Pidgin.
I mean, I went to one of my daughters went to Waianae High School. Okay, now she scored because I tutored her. She scored really high in math, and she was already ready for Algebra 1 in 7th grade. Okay, which is a little bit ahead of the curve, but not too much. But because the average child in 7th grade at that school was working at a 5th grade level, she could only take whatever class the other kids were because they didn't want to make anybody feel bad.
Oh, of course. God, that's how we got these shitty fucking kids now.
No kids left behind. You know what?
All kids are left behind now.
Smack that little bastard's ass and make him do something instead of saying you can't smack your kid. But back to crypto on this. What it really is, there's a bunch of dumbasses who would lose their ass if the government didn't protect them. And as far as I'm concerned, well, let them lose their ass because you're going to learn to not do that again, like putting your hand on the stove.
Oh, for sure. I mean, so or
you're going to get an education.
I had maybe $7,000 into crypto last year. But I had a full appreciation for the fact. And so my buddy Matt, he had, I think he was up at like 6 or 7 million at that point.
6 or 7 million.
Sorry. This guy had more money than I could fucking count. Like, he just, here's a couple thousand of it.
Why is he not our friend?
He's just busy. He works for the ARC Foundation now.
Why is he not our friend?
Because he's in Michigan.
Let's go to Michigan. James is from there. He'll show us around. They got some great strippers. Now, I know you're into, dark meat.
Not white chicks?
Yeah. It is loaded with, super hot. We're talking Naomi, what's her name, the model. I mean, a lot of that. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I feel like I am getting my corn dog nuked right now by some girl that I've been inside of from there. I mean, the women there, they're pretty spectacular. They're a bunch of dumb, hood rat, slutty bitches, but they are fucking hot.
Yeah, You know,
I like slutty bitches.
I'm not a fan of placing membranes upon the wood, so I like to be a little more selective.
All I gotta say is, vodka